I feel the need to make an introduction to this interview. For far too long we have shown a degree of deference to some people just because of their privileged position in society. Looking at a list of freemen of Waterford City since 1867, very few have contributed to Waterford society or the economy of Waterford. The majority were clerics or politicians lauded and awarded just because of that privileged position. Yet in Waterford, the real heroes are those who deserve to be recognised for their contribution to Waterford, and they're hiding in plain sight. They neither ask for pay or any type of recognition and work tirelessly to make the lives of the underprivileged and the less fortunate more tolerable. Our next contributor to the Waterford City Local History Project is one such person. He has all his life campaigned for wheelchair access for the disabled, many charities such as the CC House, a daycare centre for the elderly. He also campaigned for free transport for those people suffering from cancer and receiving chemotherapy in Waterford Regional Hospital, and provided free transport there to make that trip and their treatment more tolerable. Henry was a blower in Waterford Crystal. He was an ardent trade unionist. His name is Henry Moloney, and this is his story. Henry, could you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Henry Moloney.
And the names of your parents, Henry?
My mother's name was Molly. Our maiden name was Molly Kehoe.
Right.
And my father's name was Jimmy Moloney.
And what did your father work at?
My father, I only barely remember my father. My poor father died when I was 7 years old. He died and he's buried in Manchester. No. He's buried in Hammersmith in London.
All right.
He died in London when I was 7 years old.
God. That was tough on your mother, Henry.
There were 5 of us.
Got 5?
4 boys. Four boys and 1 girl.
God, tough on the woman. Do you remember your grandparents, Henry?
I do.
And about where did they live?
Number 62 Lower Yellow Road.
Oh, Lower Yellow Road, right. Yeah. So you were fairly close then?
Well, yeah.
And Henry, where were you born? Were you born in home or in a hospital?
No, I was born in Parliament Street. There must be a home up there. So.
Yes, there was. Same as myself, I was born there too. And how many, you said, I know you've already said, how many was in the family, Henry, besides your mum?
I have 4 brothers and 1 sister.
Okay. And how many rooms then in the house? Did you say Keynes Road you were born?
Okay, yeah, it's a corporation house. I mean, still a corporation house. 2 bedrooms.
And you're still living there?
I'm still living there.
You're born and you're still there?
Yeah.
That's a record, I think, Henry, nowadays. So how many rooms were in the house, Henry?
2.
2 bedrooms, you mean?
2 bedrooms.
And there was a little kitchen?
There was a small kitchen and a big kitchen. Well, we call it a sitting room today, but I tried the sitting room there.
Yeah, it was just a small little room.
Yeah.
And Henry, did you have an inside or an outside toilet?
An inside toilet.
Well, you were very posh up there, Henry. The water tap then, was it inside or outside the house?
Inside.
Mm. Henry, where did you go to school?
I went to school in Mount St.
Knocksheen. Yeah. Did you like school?
I did, yeah. I always got on with in school.
Well. And very good. And what, had you any favourite subject or anything like that?
No, not really.
But just in general, you like school?
I like school, yeah. Because I like to meet people.
Yeah. Very good. Henry, can you remember any, when you were younger, when you were kind of a child and you're very young, what games did you play up around the Keynes Road?
We played hurling and football on the road.
Yeah.
And in the winter then we'd all back in a sixpence or tuppence each, and we'd buy a big football. We painted white. We'd go up to Mount St. Peter, we'd kick it around for the night.
And were you involved in any clubs or any clubs around when you were?
I played hurling with there and so on.
Right.
And then I formed my own team up in Keynes Road, St. Brendan's.
Oh, right. What year was that?
I'll be in the 60s.
Right. But did you go down to St. Joseph Ice Club or any of those?
I did. I was a member of St. Joseph Ice Club on the Lower Yellow Road.
Yeah. Was there any other? Because there was Mary Lee the other day said about a club downtown and I never had heard of in my life.
No.
That was the only one, was it?
That's the only one I ever.
Okay. Henry, Christmas. I'm saying it to everyone. I can't remember Christmas.
I can't remember one Christmas.
Either, can't you?
I can, yeah, because my mother bought me a gun with a stick in it, and you fire the stick.
All right.
And I gave it one to a friend of mine, and when he felt the stick, it stuck onto a van going up the road, and it was staying for 2 weeks after.
So you fired the gun. That's the one with the sucker on the top. And would that be the only? Well, that's the only one you remember, Henry, is it?
I don't remember the day.
Yeah. Do you?
I do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but what type of typically what kind of presents would you be getting for Christmas then when you were a child?
Yeah, I do, or snakes and that or something like that. That's all you get. That's all you get. Them days.
Yeah, exactly.
It was my uncle who'd buy it for us, Uncle Jim K.O.
Okay. And he was very good, obviously, to the family.
He was very good to my mother.
Yeah. Was that your mother or your father's brother?
That's my mother's brother.
Your mother's brother.
And I'm nearly K.O.'s father, Ned K.O. He was good to us, 7, 8.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was another brother.
You could remember, did you work for the Ram when you were young?
I did all of that. I used to walk from Kansas out to the Holy Cross, because it was ready to one of them.
Right.
And a little latch on the green door when you go in and push it in, and you sing there, they get a shilling.
Out the Holy Cross?
Walk from Kansas to the Holy Cross over the shilling.
You didn't have half doors up in Keynes Road, did you?
No.
Yeah, that'd be down the old parts of town, that would have been, yeah. Henry, now what type of food did you have typically for your meals? Would you have had a breakfast?
Well, we would have probably a bit of toast bread and a mug of tea. That's what I get in the morning.
Yeah.
And then you get the free milk in school and the rock bone. If your father would take it. I was unemployed.
Yeah. So you had a bit of food anyway. How many times a week, Henry, would you have had meals, would you reckon?
I'd say about 4 times a week. Because my mother used to get the livings up to nuns on the presentation and bring them up to us.
Oh, right.
Because my mother worked for the nuns for about 35 years.
Did she?
Yeah, as a cleaner.
All right.
Do you know the news? Do you know the school that the Haddies have now?
Yeah.
There's 22 classrooms in there. My mother used to see them. There were no light in the school in them days.
Right.
This was back in the 50s.
Yeah. No light.
No light. And my mother had to wash up on the nuns on a Monday.
God. She had a tough then.
She started at 6 o'clock in the morning and buy a big Bible and the soap would come, the carbonic soap would come in big lumps, and I used to have a hat to cut them up.
Yeah.
Throw them into the Bible.
And she did the washing of for the clothes and things, did she?
She hung them out down the big field in the presentation convent for a year.
And 35 years since she worked.
She was there about 30 years. 30 years. 12 and 6 a week.
12 and 6 a week. Yeah. But did she enjoy it, Henry?
My mother loved it.
Did she? Yeah. Well, they seem to have treated her fairly well down there.
My mother looked after her.
Yeah, fair play to her. Henry, what about fish? Would you have had much fish?
Fish?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Or eggs?
Eggs. Well, every Easter we get 2 eggs.
Yeah.
You'll be up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get these 4 eggs.
Okay, Henry. And, but now they wouldn't be Easter eggs now. They'd be real eggs. Yeah. And would you get an Easter egg, a chocolate one, Ran?
I might, but it wouldn't be a big one. It'd be small, just to pass you over. You know what I mean? Henry,
can you remember what was your first job?
I worked with the nuns, weeding the lawns when I used to finish school, and I gave a shilling. I used to get a shilling a week.
Yeah. And at what age were you, Henry?
I was about 13 and a half, 12.
Yeah. And just weeding them down there, and I presume the nuns were good to you too, obviously. They were.
Not too bad to me.
Yeah.
And then when I was 14, I got a job in Shannon BP, and I had Noel Dalton's father. Noel Dalton lived in the Folly.
Yeah.
I worked with his father and died and then I got a job in the glass factory.
And what did you start with in the glass factory, Henry?
I started in the blown room.
In the blown room?
And there were no crystal pot then. It was all domestic.
Right. It was soda glass, was it?
All soda.
All soda, yeah.
All domestic, yeah.
Yeah. Henry, would you remember, I suppose, many of the Germans that were, or Italians that were there?
I remember more.
Could you name any of them that you remember?
Johnny Gidio.
Johnny Giano.
Johnny Compani. Joseph Christian.
Yeah.
Hoffman, Alphonse Hoffman. Hoffman number 1, Hoffman number 2.
Yeah. Maxi Gosti.
Maxi Gosti's father.
Yeah.
And Mario Yusi.
Right. And were they good? Were they good blowers?
Joseph Tesson was the best player I ever saw.
So I believe, yeah.
He was a terrific man.
Yeah, he was married to my aunt.
Was he?
Initially, that was his first wife, yeah, and she died very young, yeah.
That's right,
yeah. Una.
And he married young Buckley after.
That's right, yeah. But yeah, Joseph, they were. You reckon then they were highly skilled?
Oh, Joseph Tesson was the best blower I saw.
Yeah.
Very skilled man.
He was a heavy blower.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah. Were there any other heavy blowers besides Kretzen?
They were the Hoffmans.
Yeah.
The Hoffman number 2 came. I worked with him for a while.
Right. And were you a ball blower or were you a blower or a gather or what?
I started off ball blower.
Okay.
And then later on in life I got a job blowing.
So yeah.
Blowing half point classes.
All right. Yeah.
Blowing point classes. And then I was the first shop steward in the blowing.
Were you, Henry?
It was, yeah. And you go around collecting the money on a Saturday or Friday.
Yeah.
Everybody looked to Cherry Rook up.
Was they at the amalgamated then? Yeah.
That's right, it was the amalgamated.
And can you remember any other shopsters at the time and any other department, the cutting or?
Massey Kelly then came after me, Massey Kelly, Marshall Kelly.
Yeah.
Paddy O'Keefe was the shop steward below down.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
So I don't know who was the other shop steward below the shop.
Yeah. And what type of relations would you have had then with the management at that time as a matter of interest?
It's just, yeah, but so different with Jetman.
Griffin, yeah.
He's a Jetman.
Yeah. So that was there. You say that was down in Johnstown. In Johnstown, yeah. That's where I started too, in Johnstown. And what year did you say, Henry? Can you remember the year?
Around the 50s.
Right, the 50s, yeah.
Around the 50s.
Yeah. 64 when I started. Henry, you know, you're well known for your activism, you know, and like, where did you get that from, Henry? Because not everybody is as interested in helping people as you are.
I got it from my mother.
Right.
I started off with the companions club in the glass factory. Any old person in the room, we gave them free television.
Right.
And you go around collecting the money on a Friday.
Yeah.
Then I went from there. Then I got on to Trace Council, and they nominated me to look after the handicapped kids. I spent 50 years at that.
Yeah.
And nearly close to 50 years on the Waterford Council of Trade Unions, representing an awful lot of boards.
Yeah.
Charity boards only.
Yeah.
So I was a ringleader getting a workshop built out in Sherrymount.
Yeah.
It's called Springdale Workshop.
Right.
I was on the instigators and getting that done.
Yeah.
I was on the instigator getting the CC House done.
Yeah.
I was the biggest instigator in getting the dialysis machines for our king.
Yeah. I know that, Henry, and that's why I thought it's so important to talk to you, because if any person I would have thought as an activist in town, you'd be top of the list, because I know, and a lot of people don't know, but I know.
And then I started for the radio therapy out in Whitfield. I got the radio therapy going with Dick Roach and the Port Law lads.
Yeah. And were you involved in St. Patrick's too, Henry?
I was for a little.
Yeah.
Because I had so much on my plate.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I know, yeah. But you're amazing like that.
And then I joined the Meals on Wheels. I was the fundraiser for the Meals on Wheels in Daily Lane for an hour.
Yeah.
My second sister Monica wrote to us.
Yeah. Amazing work, Henry, an amazing contribution to the ordinary people of Waterford, you know. And like I won't say there's a lot of people, but there are other people like you that go totally unrecognised by anybody.
But the only people that recognised me was the trade union.
I know that, yeah.
But they never upset me. They never upset me.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Because I know what I done it. I bloody done it for the people who deserved it.
I know you did, yeah. And I mean, like...
And if I was able, I'd do it again, so...
I know. And a lot of people, Henry, do actually know what you do and do appreciate it.
Yeah, I know they do.
You know.
The trade union women were very good.
Yeah, I know that. Henry, when you were young, did you have a drink?
No.
What age were you? Do you drink now?
I do off and on, very seldom.
Yeah.
I had a drink when I was about 18, say 19. I had a pot of Guinness.
Yeah,
and I got down to Gaelic Bear to corner the car stop.
Yeah. And you should go to the Olympia.
I used to always go to it.
Yeah. And did you have a favourite band or show band, Henry?
I had the Regal show band.
Yeah.
So very good, I thought they were very good.
Yeah, the Regal.
Yeah, the Regal.
Were they a Waterford band?
No, I don't know, I think they were Cork, I could be wrong.
Right. Henry, I was talking to you briefly there, and that was, about when you went to school. You were telling me you went to school with no shoes.
I did. I went to Mount St. in my bare feet.
Okay. And there were other lads.
And I got my first pair of boots off of John Griffin. He was a mayor of Waterford one time.
Right.
The Devil man. And I got him in Dawson's in Lady Lane.
Okay.
And PC beyond adhesive.
What does that stand for?
I don't know. That proves that you were free boots, right? Again.
Oh, there were free boots that were kind of a charity kind of a thing. Yeah, yeah.
John Griffin got them from me, not to mention.
And they were stamped on the soles, is it?
On the soles, I was stamped.
And Henry, you were telling me about some of the lads that were in school with you, and one fella had a pair of Russian boots on him.
Yeah, and there were no soles, no heels on it. So just lay down on his foot about it.
They're just resting on his feet.
Just resting down on his feet.
And you were saying something about, was it in mass or something, when he'd kneel down?
No, Mr. Gloucester was the teacher, and he prayed at 12 o'clock, and when he knelt up on the chair, and nearly died.
And you know something, Henry, it's just amazing that it's not so far back.
It's not, well, it's just to me down it, I've been honest and fair with you. Because I'll be 82 next March again. I know I kept putting on mileage on myself.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I shall be honest and fair with you.
Yeah, but it's not slowing you down, Henry.
No, it's not slowing me down, I'm delighted for that one.
Yeah, thank God, yeah.
Yeah.
Henry, when you were young, what was your politics? Did you vote?
I did. And my mother found me out. My mother found me out of the house because I voted for Labour. My mother came for paying the phone.
Yeah. And so you voted Labour. And you were always that way inclined, I know that anyway. And religion, Henry, did you go to Mass often when you were young?
Yeah, I used to go to Mass, it was in Old Ballybrick. 10 o'clock Mass every Sunday morning, the 5 hours. We go up to our grandfather, Johnny Moloney, who was the head master on the key for our Sunday penny.
Yeah.
I never missed a Mass, and my mother asked me, what colour was the Westminster priest had? She'd ask you down on a Sunday night.
Right, yeah.
They just said the wrong ones, you went on Mass with the key.
And what about confession? Are you a good man for confession?
I was. And then not messing with poor father, my mother taught me father to say, one down there said, so fair, my son, all my business.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And that's a relevance to, that's a reference to the fact that a lot of priests would have came from farming backgrounds. Yeah, very true. What about the missions? Would you remember the missions?
I did, yeah. I was up in the missions up here in this college.
Oh, yeah.
The family that prayed to get us there.
Well, that's Father Payton.
Father Payton,
yeah. Yeah.
And then the other missioners used to put the fear of God in us.
They would have put the fear of God in you, yeah.
Because I went to a mission over Mount Cayman one night.
Yeah.
And this missionary took out this cross from under his garment, which was as big as the one our Lord carried.
Yeah.
And he was shouting all your parishes and kill the cow of one to do it. This fellow was laughing at the back of the chapel. And my man stopped and said, why are you laughing at me? Because I'm in the parish of Carrick-on Shore, he said.
Yeah. And they used to try and frighten people, didn't they?
And I walked and I walked from Carrick-on Shore to Waterford. We're trying to go do it.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Oh, I remember Dominic used to walk around the country. He was an RTE presenter, is that right? Yeah. And
I walked from Dungarvan to Waterford for John Lynch. Remember John Lynch?
Yeah.
To put in a new battle for.
Right. Yeah. Henry, you know the president we say, and I'm asking everyone this, the last few people, is that with the clerical abuse scandal in the church, has it changed your view of religion?
It has. It's changed my view on the big way.
Yeah.
Very big way.
Yeah.
Especially when I saw what my poor mother used to do.
Yeah.
You know, the memories that you don't forget these things.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
I couldn't believe it. I can't believe what happened in this country.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And they never came out.
Yeah, I know, Henry. And the thing about it is that it has, and everybody feeds an awful sense of betrayal. You know, I think so.
Well, I did anyway. Be honest with you.
Yeah. So I mean, like the thing about it, Henry, is that the Irish people, even going back, we say, to the IRA men, fellas who took the Republican side in the Civil War. Now, these men would have been read from the altar over in Ballybricking, right? And I remember talking to an old IRA man there up in Dial Street, and he went to Mass he was able to disconnect the priests from his religion. And when, a funny thing, and when they went to build a monument on the quay to the War of Independence, they put up the Sacred Heart. It wasn't like a volunteer with a gun or a fella with a pike. It was the sacred heart. So there were religious men, and they were able to separate their religion. And I think that's what's happening in Ireland with a lot of people. They can separate what happened to the church with the religion, and there's still good mass course in that, you know. And Henry, is there anything else just before we finish up that you'd like to talk about? I know you've done so much and you probably can't even remember half the things that you did.
Well, Dermot, what kept me was the job sought for people with disability in this country, and especially this town, was sickening.
Yeah.
Even to the offices where a disabled person went, it wasn't accessible for the wheelchair.
Right.
But I got it accessible.
Yeah.
Because I fought.
I know.
I fought day and night over all these things, so I did.
And I know you never took no for an answer.
No, I never took no for an
answer. I know that.
So I went into the prairie for the priest to read it off the pulpit about the radiotherapy. I said, I want to read it off the pulpit. I said, I hope you'll never get sick. I said to him, I watch out for pressure box. I said, still me wives in Bandonation, tell you that I know.
Say that again, Henry.
I went into the prairie to ask the prayer to read it off the pulpit about the big march for the radiotherapy campaign. He said, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I said, I hope you never get sick. I said to him, I watch out for the prayer.
Yeah. But it's amazing. I know you've done and you went that extra mile. I know that, you know.
Tell me, if you come up to my house, I could show you things by and you're going to be able to threaten like that for some people.
Yeah,
They never bother me.
I know that.
They
Yeah.
never bother me.
Yeah.
And it was very good to me with Jimmy Kelly.
Yeah, I know. I mean, all the lads in the class. I mean,
Waterford.
Yeah. But I know all those lads. As you know now, I was on the union, the glass factory, which you do, right? And I know all the lads in there and how good they were to all the causes in Waterford. There was none better. And they put the hand up and they had the money stopped to payroll deductions. You remember that, Henry? And to various charities, to missions, to priests, the whole lot. And they never ever once zipped up their pockets. They gave it out, and I mean, you know that yourself. And there's a credit to you and a credit to them that you kept it going for so long, you know. Listen, Henry, I'm really delighted that you gave me the opportunity, because I think it's important that people should know as much as I knew that what you've done for the people of Waterford. Henry Moloney, thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Much appreciated. Thanks.